Hello! This is Monday Night Gets Nuked. I am thirsty. There are my players. Still it's mirrored and I fuck it up every time. Tonight, tonight, before we go any further and do anything else, we have a message to the wonderful Corone.
We do indeed. We need to say congratulations to our lovely Corone who's sat out there in the chat, for he is officially a petal.
A petal. Oh, petal.
Oh.
Well done, Corone, for your first step into a wider world, or whatever the hell it is. I can't remember the Star Wars quote. So yes, larger world, I think. I don't know. I don't listen to older people than me very often. And let's face it, Obi-Wan Kenobi's a lot older than me. So anyway, here we are. Let's get nuked. We're going into the long ride home. Brutality. And it's just a fun word to say. So I encourage you to say it at home. And for those of you who don't remember what's happening, well, we'll get back to that. But for those of you in chat, remember we have some very simple rules. And those rules are...
Don't be a tool.
Yeah, come on, you can do it.
Don't be a tool about someone's gender.
Don't be a tool about someone's race.
Just don't be a tool.
Or a screwdriver.
Especially a screwdriver.
Damn screwdrivers. But yes, don't be a tool of any description about anyone for any reason, or I might remember I have mod powers and do something about it.
Ooh.
Yeah. But I probably won't because I don't remember how. Actually, it's really easy. Look at that there. I've just worked it out. Right. So, minor technical advancement myself. Woo. Wow, I just got lost in my little moment of triumph. Right, so, for those of you who don't remember where we were, we currently are following the 3 post-gens of Sneaker section. That being Corporal Boot and Privates Snack and Sneak, as they follow some dastardly mechanized intruders into the ruins of the town of Hazel, deep in post-gen territory. What do we remember about last time? Well, we remember, because I asked these earnest folks before we started anything at all, that they killed some folks and some folks ran away, which is very well. And we bisected a woman very nearly with a chainsaw, which we then had a very uncomfortable conversation about the mechanics of people tearing in half through spasmic action. So, before we jump on into the game, I'm very animated, I don't know why. Before we jump on into the game, we need to know who the fuck the players are. Fuck it. Bros, who are you? Yep. Who are you playing? What's happening?
Right, I'm Boss, and today I shall be playing Corporal Boot. You particularly warm? You're... I would say something else.
Any more about Boot?
More about him?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's a corporal for the section. He has a boot in his pocket, as you may remember from last time. He's quite pleased with how the rest of his squad has performed so far.
Okay. Tell us one miscellaneous detail about Corporal Boot.
One miscellaneous detail. Let's say he's only got 4 fingers on his left hand.
Are you including a thumb? Or are you one of those people who doesn't?
Including the thumb, why not?
Excellent. So he's missing... Which finger is he missing?
Let's go for the ring finger.
Okay. Well, to be fair, that is the only finger that's actively expendable. I watched a breakdown on that once. It actually contributes very little to your grip strength. Anyway, so there we are, missing a ring finger. So next we shall go to Mr. Tech. Who are you playing tonight?
I'll be playing Sneak, and my special ability is not sneaking. It's convincing people through threats of extreme violence that they haven't seen me. Severe overconfidence in his ability to sneak.
Okay. So, tell us one miscellaneous detail about Mr. Sneak.
Well, he has a 5-foot greasy pole at the moment.
He does, but our viewers know of this, for they watched you attain it.
That's true. Another miscellaneous fact of him, then.
Yeah.
He has no shoes.
Okay.
I may have mentioned that last week, but yeah. He finds that sneaking is easier without shoes.
Okay. No shoes. I should take note of this. Broken glass everywhere. Okay. No worries.
He has been walking through the wasteland for a very long time with no shoes on, so...
Extra sharp broken glass. There we are. John McClane this moment. So, there we are. In no means diminished by being the final... we go to Spanners.
Cool. I am playing Snack, who was having fun last time with her chainsaw, yes, cut someone in half, as everybody knows. She rather enjoys sneaking. In fact, she's actually quite good at it. And unlike her compatriot, is wearing shoes. But also, her random fact is the reason why Sneak has no shoes is because they're in her pockets. Because she collects shoes.
Okay. Oh, joy. Has Sneak shoes? So did Sneak decide that he was sneakier without shoes before or after you stole them?
No, there was a...
Is this a post-theft rationalization?
No, I think he probably took them off.
Yeah, I took them off and then convinced some people they couldn't see me by giving them a good booting in the head and discovered that actually sneaking is enhanced by not wearing shoes.
And she can't let a good shoe go to waste. So into the bag they went.
Fair enough. There we are. So, there we are. This motley crew of psychopathic misfits is currently standing on the outskirts of the ruins of a town known as Hazel. The town of Hazel has been ruined for many years as part of it was most likely ruined in the apocalyptic wars about 80 years ago, but more recently it's been picked over by scavengers and then conquered isn't the correct term for what post-gens do, but moved through, advanced through by the post-gen forces more recently and claimed. But as we've established previously, post-gens they operate a bit like squads with no leaders. They just sort of wander around stealing things or taking things they feel they're strong enough to take. But they have no sort of organization to actually hold territory. So they just rampage around, murdering people and hunting things. So it's kind of like a massively short-sighted and awful version of any kind of nomadic people, but massively militarized. I don't want to compare that to any real-life culture because it would be very insulting. But yeah, it's basically just massive, pumped-up jock jarheads running around, blowing things up and taking stuff.
Genetically engineered super soldiers with no purpose.
Yeah. Super soldiers with no purpose for a war that ended 80 years ago. So yeah, there you are. You're currently standing outside the ruins of Hazelmere. You have you've murdered 3 people. One person ran away and the other one jumped on a motorbike and fled into the ruins. I believe we left you last time with Boot ordering you into the ruins with some kind of dramatic battle cry. Do you recall what your dramatic battle cry was?
Sod it.
There we are. Sod it! Oh.
No,
So
I
yes.
believe I was lumbering forward at a sneaky kind of half sprint.
Yes. You can lumber forward at a sneaky half sprint. Yeah, okay, why not? So, you're advancing. Essentially, you're advancing into the ruins. You're advancing along the route of an old road, which basically is just a wider, flatter patch of ruins at this point. Occasionally, like the stumps of old sort of streetlights and things, sort of they punctuate the ruins on either side. And occasionally, you get a wall that stands to about 3 or 4 feet, just enough for you to lay behind, being that you're 7 feet goddamn tall. So yeah, as you're advancing down, like, are you gonna advance through the ruins? Are you gonna walk down the road? You're gonna move to the north, to the south, because you're currently approaching from the east.
I was going to take the sneakiest method, which is the direct approach.
Okay.
There's less likely chance of being seen if you're moving directly towards someone than if you're trying to walk around them, because you take up this space.
Okay. Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Before we advance, how much do we know about Hassel? So how big is the town anyway?
It's not a terribly large town. It's a place with quite a few large buildings. Most of them quite thoroughly wrecked, but it's not terribly large. I mean, you could walk across it in an hour or so.
Okay, so given
not even
the,
going that fast.
given that this group we've encountered first of all since we acting as guards essentially, and assuming that the one who's escaped from the bike has gone deeper into the town, how would we have a rough idea of anywhere where they might try and say make a camp or anything like that from being here before, and how far we have to go?
Well, say you have been here before, but most of the work was probably already done by the time you got here. I mean, post-gens aren't great ones for memory.
That will do me. That's
so
fine.
there are probably a few abandoned camps of old sort of scavenger camps or like little survivalist enclaves around that are either quite thoroughly pillaged, burned down, stomped flat, or just full of the corpses of the unlucky settlers. There are plenty of sort of abandoned buildings that you could probably look in, but they tend to be further in rather than on the outskirts, because obviously the outskirts is easy pickings for anyone who might be coming past.
Given that this guy's gone, well, wherever they were, has gone from like a motocross scramble bike or something, I'm going to see if there's I was going to try and have a look out and see if there's not so much tracks, but anywhere obvious where they could have got a bike through, if that makes sense.
Or a really scared-looking guy cheesing it up the road ahead of us.
I'm assuming he's long gone by now.
Well, we followed him fairly quickly. He only actually started running away, like literally as we killed his mate. So he only had maybe 30 seconds head start on us.
He's also going through ruins, isn't he? He's going through all sorts of packed, dense streets and stuff, isn't he?
We're following bikes.
Right.
So,
So Sneak, you're looking for the running dude, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Boot, you're looking for. You're trying to track the bike, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And Snack, what are you doing?
So if we are walking directly towards them, Snack is going to create some cover by taking her overcoat and putting it over her head.
Okay.
If I can't see them, they cannot see me. I am sneaking.
All right. Just had
I regret to get multiple cover.
just had a message that Spanish, you are very quiet.
Oh.
You might volume up a bit. Either that or these other bastards are just too loud.
It's entirely possible.
I can. Also booming.
One sec. Yeah,
Unfortunately,
I
you
totally
might-
know how to do this. There we go.
That's a bit louder.
We shall
Bit
see.
more gain.
Oof, Jesus Christ, yeah.
Oh, okay. I shall move it away.
Right, so there we are.
Thirsty proportions.
Yes. So,
Too much snack. There is nothing such as too much snack. Don't be ridiculous.
so yes, Snack, you're being sneaky by pulling your overcoat over your head.
Yes, I'm going to be sneaky by pulling my overcoat over my head. I'm going to look out.
Are you?
So that I can
are you just forming a coat tent and walking
Yeah.
along the road openly,
No, absolutely.
or are you
Just
going to
walking
move
straight down
through?
the middle?
Okay, fine.
But they cannot see me.
Okay. Yeah, you don't even know where they are.
Exactly.
So yeah, I'm not even going to give you a sneak for that. You're just walking down wearing your coat. Yeah. Right, everyone. Lads, give me perceptions or whatever you want to try and use.
Yeah, God's good perception, isn't it?
Hey,
Crit.
9.
you can see slightly better than me with a coat over your head.
I have a very good eye.
She's focusing. She's
Focusing, looking ahead. You're looking down maybe at the.
I'm not looking for tracking or anything. I'm literally just stomping on the street, blatantly looking for a dude who can run this direction. So it doesn't really occur to him to look for footprints. It's like I'm looking for a screaming dude who's trying to peg it away as fast as he can.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we get Snack, pulling the coat over, putting blinders on basically, just focusing straight ahead, and she sees that sort of up ahead the road sort of it takes a dog leg off to the right, and there's some larger buildings sort of a bit further in. It's a good few hundred meters away yet, where this happens, but those buildings would be a good place to sort of maybe hide or at least go behind.
Okay.
Sneak, you just stomp down the road in the sneakiest way possible, shouting like, "Where are you? Tiny, small one, face me!" Possibly under your breath.
I'm kind of thinking like the Cyclops from like Hercules. It's like, where are you?
Yeah, all in the sneakiest way possible. Because of course, the ultimate stealth is being so overt no one would think that you were there. No one would be stupid enough to do that.
It's fine.
Oh god, Corone, you've redeemed a legendary point for who? One for Brass for, I assume, putting up with everyone else.
Thank you.
Right,
Sweet.
excellent. So yeah, Boot. You amongst your section, you are the only one who thinks to look down for tire tracks from a fucking motorbike. Even the one of you who is carrying a motorbike that has been weaponized doesn't think to look for the obvious tracks of something large and metal dragging itself through wreckage. And yeah, there are very clearly and obviously tracks from this bike. Clearly, whoever was riding this bike has tried to stay off the road. They've driven it through. They've veered off through the ruins. They've attempted to sort of confuse things by doing drifts into areas that can't be seen as easily. They've sort of but they're slowly edging towards the road, and you can see up ahead a fair distance there is a very clear section where they've had to cross the road, and you're pretty damn sure that they've gone round the dogleg up ahead.
Okay. Go well then.
Also, as you're looking around, you see footprints, quite a few footprints. You also notice the tracks from a very large vehicle, sort of like a van, that drove down the road, less than 20 minutes ago.
Well, in which case, that's going to be the one to follow, isn't it? So I'm going to, rather than go after this guy on the bike, they seem to be guarding something. It makes sense that they're, I don't know, trying to guard maybe what this thing was. So, yeah. It'd be easy to follow that than following a small bike.
Okay. So, Moon, what are your orders to the section?
Orders?
Yeah.
Right then, lads. Stay low. I'm going to follow these, point out the big old tyre tracks here from the, what appears to be a van of some description. So, right, following these.
Okay.
But watch, point to the buildings. Watch the buildings, yeah?
I just keep staring at Boot like.
Just grab your head, just crane. That.
Okay, I go in the direction you pointed me.
Okay.
Just push him off down the road at this point.
As you proceed towards the slight sort of twist in the road, the buildings start to get a little like the ruins start to get a little taller. On the actual point where the road starts to twist, there are actually buildings with first floors intact. None of them have roofs at this point. Most of them don't have all the walls for the first floor, but nevertheless, someone could hide in these places. You yourself have fond memories of throwing things at people from first floors. Sometimes Sneak himself, as forming an excellent missile.
Ooh.
Occasionally he needs a little encouragement, and gravity is an excellent motivator. But want to be sneaky. Go.
I'm going to prepare myself a stun brick in recollection of those fun times.
Okay.
In case I like, my glorious leader tries to propel me out of a window again.
Okay.
Or someone else kind of jumps on me, either way. If anyone requires gentle adjustment with a stun brick, I've got one in my hand.
Okay. Right, so you're wandering down to this doglug in the road. You notice as you get there that this doglug's actually an intersection where a second road comes in sharply from the right. It seems to trail off after maybe 100 meters where a building's fallen in. But you can clearly see there are like footprints in the dust. Human-sized footprints. Could be rotters. But it's quite obvious that there are other people here, aside from, the maybe a dozen that could fit in a van. So, having seen this, what are you doing?
I'm going to turn to Booga. What way?
I'm just going to keep point down the road where we were going.
Okay, I will continue in the direction.
Okay. As you pass this intersection, the building immediately on your right has an old sign sticking out of it that just says "The White," and the rest of it has the rest of it's been burned and sections of it have fallen off. There is a vague suggestion of a neck, just like a graceful arching neck. And like possibly like the top corner of like a quaint landscape scene with like some reeds, but that's it. It's sticking out of a building that, against all odds, is reasonably intact. Like, it's clearly been on fire. The windows are all smashed, but the walls seem to be standing. And it has a very large double door that extends maybe 8 feet up and possibly sort of 7 feet across. And you can see, once again, in the dust here, there are footprints going in and out.
I'm just going to look to Snake and look to Snack. Snack,
Sir.
check out that building.
Yes, sir. Has snacks.
Nice.
Best check for those as well.
So she is going to walk towards one of the windows instead of the door. Still with the coat over. And kind of crouch below the window line, but that requires her to basically be on her side and shuffling, and then just kind of do this over the window and then this again.
Okay. There's a certain amount of information I'm willing to give you, but do you want to take a perception as well?
Yeah, I want to give her, just in case, she might actually get.
Yeah.
Sure, correct, something interesting.
Yeah.
No, she's not.
While you're doing that,
a 7.
Man, do yours first.
7. Okay. While you look in through the broken window, it's quite dark inside. On account of it being a ruined building and all. The ceiling appears to be intact mostly, which is nice. It's a fairly intact room. It appears at one point that most of it was wood panelled, but all of it is pretty scorched looking. But there's quite clearly on the other side of this room from the window you're looking through, a fairly sturdy wooden structure that comes up maybe sort of 4 foot 4 off the floor, and it stands almost the entire length of the room. And behind it is a very heavily scorched and blackened mirror that's cracked quite badly in places, with shelves mounted in front of it. And strewn all over the place is broken glass and sort of, the assembled detritus of decades. So you get little bits of twisted up paper and rubbish and plastic bags from various supermarkets, because naturally they would survive a nuclear war. But yeah, as you look in, mainly what you see is a mirror that doesn't appear to be that badly broken, which is something of a novelty. Yes, it's mounted to a wall, but it's pretty damn big.
Which way does that mirror face?
It faces directly out back into the room, towards you.
Okay, so she would see herself in it?
You would likely see yourself in silhouette, but yeah.
Okay, so she will crawl back to the others. Sir, there's someone in there. Probably need to go and investigate. Definitely someone in there. Huge.
Huge like us.
Want me to get them? I can sneak up on them. They won't see me coming.
Right, Sneak, you go around the back. Snack, back to that window. I'll try the door.
Sir.
Excellent.
And she's just going to go and hide underneath the window.
What kind of what state of the is like the wall near the back in? Is there any part of it that looks like it would be reasonably okay for me to have like smashed my way through? Like a window or door, like back door that's not very securely.
Okay, what we'll do is...
I'll tell you to go around the back. You literally are going to come smashing through the back wall, aren't you?
Right, so Boot, you walk to the front door that's clearly sized quite conveniently for you. And the doors are actually still in the frame. They're not closed, nor are they fully open. They appear to just have been left there by whoever last came in and scavenged the place. do it. Right. Snack, where are you going?
Well, he said go round the back, and I guess
No, Snack.
Sorry, Snack. Okay.
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so Snack has been scared by the person who is inside, because that person is much bigger than the people that she's used to cutting in half. So she is currently hiding underneath the window frame.
Okay, you've gone back to the same window. Yeah, cool.
I was told to.
Yep.
Following orders.
Oh yeah, we're just making sure, you know. So you're
Good luck, Snack.
getting ready to dive through a window frame, I assume. And breaching clear. Okay. Sneak. Which way around the building are you going?
Which way was I pointed? Because I assume when you said go round the back, you pointed to left or right.
I didn't point anywhere, just go around the back and point to the building.
Okay, I will go.
Left or right, just
I'll
building.
go to the right. You know, interpreting his vague gesturization as being go that way.
Okay, yeah. You go to the right, which takes you down the little road that terminates where a building fell. This building appears to go back a fair way. And there's a little alleyway. Excuse me. Between it and the building directly adjacent to the one that collapsed. It's just about wide enough for you to get in this alleyway. Is that where you're going, or are you going to look somewhere else? Or
So if I go down this alleyway, will this kind of take me round behind the building?
yeah, it's take you directly around the back of this.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to go around there and try and find like another entrance, either a door or a bit of a window or a weakened bit of wall or anything that looks like I could burst through.
Okay, yeah, you squeeze down this alleyway. After you're fucking enormous. After possibly about a dozen steps, you notice that the floor, the actual floor of this alleyway, the ground, flexes slightly under your step.
I'm going to jump on it.
Okay.
It's like, this feels weird.
Okay. Give me a strength.
Can I attack the ground as I jump on it?
Yeah. Well, to be fair, we haven't got like a defined weight stat. So, what's higher, your strength or your endurance?
They're both the same. They're both 45.
Okay, cool. All right. So, what did you get?
I rolled a 2, so that gives me a 6.
Okay. Oh, you lucky bastard! Yeah, you hit this section of floor, and you drop maybe an extra 6 inches, and there's just this resounding clang. And the sound of like tortured metal and a loud clang. You now notice, if you look between your feet, you'll now notice there's probably about a 5-inch gap. It runs almost the entire width of the alleyway beneath your feet.
I'm going to duck down and look through it.
Okay. You duck down. It is profoundly dark down there.
Can I hear anyone?
You can hear yourself as you're crouched down in a dark alleyway on your own, staring at the floor.
So, is there any way I could attempt to widen this hole? This looks like it might be a way to get into the back of the building, like I was told to. So,
well,
this looks like a super sneaky way of getting in.
You're a 7-foot-tall super soldier with the strength of a small family car. Do what you wish.
Awesome. I'm going to attempt to actually. Does the floor has the floor stopped giving? Because my instinct would be to get back up and just like jump up and down it like Donkey Kong for a bit to see if that actually frees it.
Yeah. Well, your initial impression is that the section of floor you're jumping up and down on is made of old metal, and the more you jump on it, the more it bends.
Cool. I'm going to keep doing that then.
Okay.
No.
Oh Jesus! Yeah, you jump on it once, and it just one of the two halves just gives instantly, and you end up. Give me a reflex.
crit.
Okay. Excellent. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. You surf down the steps into a beer cellar on one of the doors, on one of the loading doors that you've just bust in through off of off of its hinges, out of its frame, the wrong direction. And yeah, you're standing in a low-ceilinged, dark room. The only source of light is the hole behind you. And standing on racking around you are old, bloated beer kegs that have blown out. They're near spherical, where the pressure has built up in them and they've just popped out until eventually, eventually the valves on them have burst. So you're about shin deep in collected effluence.
Oh, now that I've descended down the stairs with a shout of "quiet" as I surface
Yeah.
down
Yeah,
into
you hit this effluent with a loud splorch as this semi-fluid squelches between your toes as you sink up to your halfway up to your knees. You become vaguely aware that there are things moving in it. It's not an important consideration at the time, but something definitely wriggles under your foot. As you take a step, it moves.
I'm going to go shh at it, and then I'm going to stomp through trying to find the way to complete infiltrating this building.
Yeah. Splosh, splosh, slorp, slorp. Right. You two.
Mm-hmm.
You hear two loud clangs about 10 seconds apart, followed by a loud crash and a splash. I assume that's a go signal.
Yep. I'm going to shout go to Sneak. Just try and barrel through the door and try and get parallel to the room that she's in front of.
Okay, yeah. You smash through the door. Right, Snack. How are you getting through this window? How are you traversing this obstacle?
She is going to grab onto the windowsill and attempt to launch herself through the window.
That's just going to be a straight strength then. You're going to throw yourself at a presumably 80 to 100-year-old window frame.
And that's strength. Oh, good.
Yeah.
That'll be a 13. I'm taking the window with me.
Yeah. Yeah, you explode through this very, very easily. Kind of like an inattentive parent standing on a lovingly made sculpture of matchsticks. It's piss easy. You smash through this thing like it's nothing. Destroying irreplaceable architectural wonders of British life. And you smash down onto a 3-legged table, and you sort of come to rest. You come to rest in what was probably once a cosy little booth, albeit with a crushed table. You're quite comfortable. Your head and your legs are both on what was probably a nice leather sofa once. But your bum is on a broken table.
Excellent.
Right. Boot.
Yep.
You throw yourself through the doors. The left door just comes off the hinges as you barge through. It just flies into the room. It crashes against the bar on the other side of the room, and it breaks in half. And you find yourself standing in a room with Snap sort of in a twisted pile over there.
Okay. And no
throwing a sharp salute from the floor.
No sign of his third person then that she's seen.
No, there is very clearly a mirror on the other side of the room, a very large mirror that runs the length of the back wall of this room.
Oh, bloody hell, Snack, it's you.
Down here, sir.
The sodding mirror.
What's that, sir?
Oh. You know what a mirror is, Snack. Come on.
So the
Just
scary
pointing-
things are.
Gesturing wildly at the mirror there.
The moving painting picture.
It's your reflection, Snack, like a puddle.
Is it wet?
Not as wet as you. Come on, let's go and get Sneak.
Yes, sir.
Excellent.
Let's try and land off and see if we can find a cellar or somewhere he's would have crashed down to.
I
So-
assume this is probably the point at which I crash through some trapdoor behind the bar or something.
So yeah, you're standing in this bar. You've just explained the concept of a mirror to your subordinate, and do you help her to her feet, or are you just gonna berate your subordinate and then wonder where the other one's got to?
No, I'll give her a hand to help her up.
Okay, right. Yeah, you help Snack up. You both have a mirror to avail yourselves of. Now, Boot, you're not singularly gifted in the old brain box, but something about this setup reminds you of a thing called a pub. And you recall, maybe it's part of the indoctrination you got, but you recall that pubs are good places to hang out and drink. Post-gens just tend to drink wherever they are, but this is a good place for soldiers to drink. And these shelves at the back of a bar is where all the good stuff is kept.
Okay. I can feel something stirring now.
Yes.
Let's have a look at these shelves then.
So as you head across the bar, like most of these shelves are just covered in like broken glass. There's old like dried up puddles of stuff. But one thing you can see as you head back there on the floor there is a hatch. It's set slightly back from the bar, so that people don't fall in. It's not very wide. It's maybe sort of 5 foot by 5 foot.
Yeah.
And it's got like a heavy ring handle, a proper old trapdoor. And but the one big thing you notice about it is that it has a big, heavy bar and padlock on it. Yeah.
Make short work of that.
Yeah. Okay, so are you personally going to demolish this trapdoor, or are you going to let your subordinate with a chainsaw do it for you?
Good point. It'd be very noisy if Snack was to do that, though. I'm sure I could probably just ring this out a bit more quietly. I'll see if I can just pull it off quietly myself. Quietly being, I'm not starting a chainsaw to try and cut through it, just trying to rest it.
Yeah, just trying to wrench steel out of old planks.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, go for it. Give me strength.
All right. Straight strength?
Yeah, straight strength.
Bloody hell, quit.
Excellent. You you grab the ring. You manage to fit like one finger from each hand through this ring that's clearly meant to be like gripped with a whole hand. Of a normal, human-sized being. And you pull as hard as you can. And initially your result is the ring and about a 3-inch sort of circumference immediately around it just pulls out of the hatch. And below you can see as the light in the bad light in this room casts through the hole, you can see Sneak looking up at you.
To the back, not from below.
Can,
Should get
can
down.
how big was the hole? You said 3-inch hole.
Yeah, it's like 3 inches. He's literally just like he's got a peephole. But you can easily just get your hands in the hole and you just wrench the damn thing out afterwards. But there you are. There's Sneak standing below you.
So I was really hoping you'd just tear the thing open so I could be like, found them, and hurl a stun brigade.
Yeah.
You ruined it by having a tiny people.
Yes.
Instead, I'm just going to be like, quiet.
Yeah.
Things moving down here.
There we are. You can still do that. Everything you say is canon, damn it.
Hey,
Excellent. There. What sort of things?
Wiggly things round the toes.
Try to give him a good stomping.
Okay, I'll start jumping up and down.
Splash, 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 splash as it goes.
Okay. Just you
I've been ordered to perform star jumps by superheroes, so I'm now just like jumping up and down.
You just
Excellent.
crack your skull, wouldn't you?
yeah. You're doing like amphibian like wine pressing. Wonderful. So yeah, you're stomping around trying to kill whatever wriggly thing is in the vaguely alcoholic effluence. All right. Those of you who aren't like up to your knees in stinking filth, what are you guys doing? And this stuff stinks. It really stinks. I mean, post-gens don't have much in the way of like smell and taste, but this stuff really stinks.
It tastes bad too.
Oh, Snake.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go back to looking at the what's behind the bar essentially, and just see if there's anything vaguely serviceable or worth swiping. Really.
Okay. Yeah. As you're looking around behind the bar, you can see that below these shelves, there are cabinets, and most of these cabinets had glass fronts and have been emptied long ago. Most of the fronts have been ripped off, but a few of them are there. They've been broken while someone's trying to pull them off. They've just broken the glass. But you find one that's slightly open. It's got like a laminate wood front that's sort of peeled away as time's gone on. And you open that up.
Okay.
Swat it aside with one finger, probably. And inside you find some bottles. These bottles are probably about yay tall. And they have a very simple label on. And the only thing... No, let's establish this now. Can Boot read?
Yes.
Excellent. The only word you can make out on them is special.
Special bottles.
Like over the years, like there's been plenty of like moisture buildup on the mirror that's run down into the cabinets, and it's ruined the labels. But as you're going through, you can find sort of maybe a dozen of these bottles. Like one of them has a sort of semi-intact label that just has the word special on.
Okay.
Another one has Brr on it, and another one has a W.
Special brow.
Special brew, if you will. And yeah, that's you find maybe a dozen of these. And one of them's already open, and has just clearly been put back. If you sniff it and it doesn't smell like much, maybe 8 decades of it being open and left in a cupboard has caused anything that might have caused it to have any form of odor to evaporate,
Yeah.
or possibly turn into a powder and settle to the bottom. Yeah, you have 11 bottles of special.
11 throwing bottles. Okay.
Upgrade that stun supply.
Well, they're full. They're still sealed, 11 of them. One of them's just open and like 2/3 full.
well, knowing that things that tend to be open around after, well, open in distillation don't tend to be the same as sealed things, I'll just take the top of one of them and give it a try.
Excellent.
Just
Yep. You pop it off and just chug it down.
why not?
Yep. Okay. You pop off the top of a bottle of special, spesh, if you will, and you throw it back, and you instantly feel powerful feelings of regret. But also you feel a curious air of invulnerability. Like you could say anything in public loudly and no one could blame you. You kind of get a feeling that, like, you know, you could voice the most objectionable opinions and everyone would have to put up with it because you're just so damn awesome.
Special, if you will.
Yeah, you're a special person. Drinking this mighty and sophisticated special concoction. But yeah, you know, you feel really good. And in reflection of that, you get a legendary point.
Sweet, I've got 4 of these things now. Ooh. What to do with them? Most of these. Right, does it look like there could be anything else of worth in the building here? It seems quite intact.
I say there are still pumps attached to this bar. There are various containers and boxes and things like in the rear facing of this bar. There's probably even back rooms. There might even be an upstairs. But you've searched the bar room and sent someone to like wade through the sewer.
Before we go any further, I'm just going to sort of just look down at the floor. Are there any sort of footprints? Anyone else who's been here recently? The ones we're following, maybe, or anything like that?
There are lots of footprints. Most of them just sort of... They're mainly sort of, sticky marks in spilled filth on the floor. I mean, they could have been They could have been left yesterday. They could have been left 20 years ago. It's very hard to tell. The sludge on the floor has attained a sort of resin-like quality.
Well, seeing as the guy on the bike seems to have gone straight past this place, I think this was a bit of a waste of time apart from these 11 remaining special bottles. So I'll dispense these to everyone else. I'll give everyone else 3 and I'll keep the rest.
Okay. So everyone else gets... Jesus. Okay. So they get 3 and you get 4.
Yep.
Yeah. You had 10. You had 11 and you drank 1. So yeah. That's how maths works. Hooray. So yes. The rest of you receive 3 bottles of special.
There you go. Share the wealth.
Yeah.
Do I do this while jumping up and down in a slimy dark hole? Or do I get it when I come out the hole?
We're allowed to come out the hole now, Sneak.
Okay. Is it possible for me to fit through this hatch that's been opened above me?
Not as is. It would require some adjustment.
Can I adjust it in a super sneaky way?
Crash.
You can try, yeah.
I'm gonna try with a. That's not very good. That's only a 9, I think.
Okay. How do you attempt to adjust this?
Well, I've got my 5-foot greasy pole, so I'm going to use that kind of in like a wrecking bar fashion to basically just attempt to just like smash the side of the like. I assume there's basically like 4 bits of wood like in a shape, guys. So I'm just going to try and smash one of them out of the way, just like ramming it with a metal pole. Okay.
Yeah. You stab the ceiling with a greasy spear. The effect is exactly what everyone else expected from that sentence. Of you basically lightly tap the ceiling with a piece of metal and stroke a greasy pole. As your hands slide around on it, because you can't get a decent grip. You manage to make a few dents, and everyone upstairs kind of gets what you're going for. if you guys want to help, that's fine.
Hang on a second, Sneak. And see if I can just try and just pull the rest of the floor up there. Well, the hatch. 8. Uh, 12.
Okay, yeah. Between you two, you manage to eventually pummel this section of the floor until part of it collapses. Some of the cabinets fall in through the hole as well, and the mirror breaks in the middle where the floor gives in and the cabinets sag. So you now have, rather than like one 10-foot wide mirror that's relatively untouched, you now have like 2 4-foot mirrors and like a couple of feet of shattered glass. But hey, it still looks cool. So yeah, Sneak, you're just like you're showered with like moldy wood and broken glass, and broken bottles and cans and little cocktail umbrellas and horribly moldy lemons and
Oh, this will taste bad too.
yeah, and like potentially sentient mold. But yeah, ultimately, you manage to get up. Snack. Well, these 2 earnest fellas are doing all this. You said you were looking for snacks originally.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
Indeed, she is.
So as they're digging through,
But she found the board of pork scratchings.
well, that's a question. That's a question for Snack. What kind of snacks are you looking for?
So she sort of has a vague recollection of what a bar might be. She knows there are snacks here. So she knows it's not sort of food. She knows that there are things to generally sort of nibble on in places like this. So she goes around where the bottles of special were found and starts rifling around to see if there's anything that might be available inside a bag.
Okay. Right. Let's see. Right. Okay. Even is nuts. And odd is pork scratchings.
You're lucky.
You find one pristine bag of pork scratchings. It's a big bag.
Family size bag.
Yeah, it's one of those ones that bars that do like pub quizzes get in, that you can put like the middle of the table for a team. The sort that some people, and I hate those people, used to empty into ashtrays. Like, why? Why would you do that? That thing's filthy. Scum. But yeah, they destroyed perfectly good pork scratchings by putting them in an ashtray and using it as a platter. But yes, they don't even look soggy. They look perfectly good, in as far as pork scratchings ever look perfectly good.
So yeah, so she can't help herself. She's going to have to open them. She is going to find the largest, curliest one.
Oh, food porn.
Specifically, the one that is slightly curly and it has like that rind of fat with the salt on the inside. You're all salivating. This is brilliant.
Cease this awful description. I'm scratching now.
And she is going to eat that one because that one is hers. She found the pork scratching. This is her pork scratching before anyone else comes along.
Yeah.
Just do not the loud crunching sound of you just snacking down some pork scratching.
Yeah.
Well, no, this is where the main question comes in, and this will probably tell us everything we ever need to know about Spanners as a person. When Snack puts this pork scratching in her mouth, does she allow it to dissolve or crunch it loudly? And
Oh my gosh, she crunches it loudly.
Good.
You can't suck a pork scratching.
You really can't.
You're
Some
not
people
a
do.
heathen.
Some people do. Yeah, so you put it in your mouth and you scrunch it loudly, and as if by some strange magic, the thunderous crunch of pork scratchings being consumed once more on a premises that was once licensed. The whole place just feels more real somehow. The crunch of pork scratchings, there's beers being shared around. This makes you all feel pretty damn good about things. In fact,
I managed to escape up through the hole now.
yeah, you're up now. You're all up. You've been given your beers. You're all standing there with your bottles of special. Are you going to share the scratchings?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. When the other two come over, she will hold them aloft. Stacks.
Yeah.
But,
You have a bag of scratchings
take a
and
picture
bottles
of
of
them.
beer.
I was going to say, when I first actually kind of get back out this hole, it's like still carrying my stun brick in my hand in case of like emergencies. When I turn round, do I catch a glimpse of myself in the mirror?
Yes. Well,
Excellent.
the section of the mirror that you're looking at is also shattered, so you catch a glance of many images of yourself,
Okay.
if only partial.
At which point I'll give out a loud like "Ha! Found you!" and then hurl my stun brick at the images in the mirror.
Okay. Yep. You
I got
hurl half a
basic
brick at the
tactics.
wall, and then you further break the broken mirror. Let's say the 4 unbroken feet on the right-hand side now have spidery cracks, where you've thrown it to that sort of side, like, oh shit. Yeah. So now you only have 4 feet of unbroken mirror. But yeah, you've vandalised yet more priceless, irreplaceable property. So yeah.
So seeing that it was a false alarm, I will go and reclaim my brick.
Okay. You're going to reclaim your brick. So yes, you have pork scratchings, you have beer, you have somewhere presumably fairly safe to consume it if the floor doesn't continue to fall in. So what do you do?
At the moment, I'm just going to have a look at the mirror itself and just see if it vaguely looks like I'd remember myself looking like. I recognise myself essentially.
Okay. Yeah, you walk over to the mirror. You have to pull some shelves off, like they're the sort of ones that sit on the little runners. But you can pull them out, without much sort of ado. You look at yourself. Yeah, you recognise yourself. Your basic features are the same. A little heavier than you remember. Your jaw's a bit squarer and heavier. Your brow's a bit heavier. You can definitely see where your jaw and your neck have broadened out, sort of becoming almost one. Post-gens aren't ones for having long necks. But your shoulders and your chest are huge. Your arms appear longer compared to the rest of your body. It's not quite simian, but it's pretty close.
Yeah.
And you have a lot more hair than you recall yourself having previously. Not on your head, but sort of ears south. You have more hair. I mean, even than last time you might have looked at yourself in a puddle. You have a long, ratty, like scraggly, like moustache and beard that you didn't have last time you looked at yourself in a puddle. Maybe you burned it off with a firework or a piece of fire. The easy way to do it. Maybe you sharpened your knife on your face. Who knows? But yeah, you look big. You look powerful. Even to yourself, you look good. I mean, you're aware that your skin looks a rather strange grey shade, but it has for years. That's fine. It's kind of blotchy in places, but yeah, you look like how you remember yourself looking. This is how you've looked for decades.
Yeah.
You vaguely recall once looking in a mirror and seeing a smaller, pastier, lighter in the loafers, pink-skinned little human. But this is better. This is stronger. This isn't puny human. So yeah,
Case.
I mean, you're just a bigger, greyer, stronger you.
Like a rock.
Yeah.
In which case, I'll just turn to Sneak and Snack and just gesture to the door and say, "Come on, got to get these guys."
I will walk out the door in the direction he gestures.
Okay. Before you guys leave, do you two also drink a beer?
Yeah, I've been given a beer. I'll drink it.
Give them 3 beers.
Yeah, because you've both been given bottles of special. So
I'll drink a beer to start with. I don't have anything else to carry them, so obviously I'm just carrying it in my hand, so it's easier just to drink it.
Are you going to drink all of your bottles of special?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys are both going to drink all of your bottles of special.
All 3.
Yeah, I mean, I've got to carry them. I don't want to carry these things. I've got, I'll just.
Go on, I'll take the other 2 as well.
And the pork scratchings, they're salty. And she does that thing that everyone does in the pub, where you kind of open the packet like really stiff and then just kind of tip the last bits of salt into your mouth.
Yeah. It's abominable, but everyone does it, so it's fine. So you extract all value from this pub, and so subordinates drink all their beers. Does Boot drink all his beer?
No, I had to keep a clear head.
Okay. Yeah, so subordinates drink all their beers. Okay. So you drink you both drink your first bottles of special, and similarly you feel pretty good. You get this sort of this slightly fuzzy feeling of general well-being and power, unassailable power. Actually, in fact, you feel fucking good. In fact, you know what? You feel like you could take on the world. This is awesome. In fact, you feel like this all the time. You're just that fucking good.
I was going to say, this sounds like how I always feel.
Yeah, I mean, fuck it, No one can possibly take you down. I mean, you feel like you could say or do anything and no one could do anything about it. You could beat up half the world with one hand tied behind your back, while the other half sits and whines like a little bitch. You can get away with anything. And you gain a legendary point.
Awesome. Just say it basically sounds like how I imagine Sneak feels all the time anyway.
Yeah. And then you chuck back the second beer, and that feeling of intense well-being, it grows to a general feeling of nothing. It's not that you're better than everyone else. It's everything else is worse than you, and it needs to do a better job. Nothing is quite good enough. I mean, it's not like it used to be. Everything has gotten worse, and you can't quite restrain yourself from expressing this by just feeling generally shitty about everything, every time you see something that's slightly less than optimal, like there's a brick in your way, it's a fucking brick, you kick it out the way, and you feel like maybe the next time you hit something, you might get to roll an extra dice for damage.
Sounds almost meta there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I feel far more violent than I did before.
Yeah, exactly. You feel more violent and more motivated.
With their Sneak.
Yeah. And then you chuck back your third, and not only are you amazing and everything else shit, but you're pretty sure that everything knows that you're better, and they're jealous. Everyone else is jealous of you. You are the fucking best. Not only do they deserve a beating, but they know they're going to get it, so they're going to come for you first. And every little shadow, every creak, every slight movement you see out the corner of your eye is definitely some prick who deserves a slap. And until I tell you otherwise, you gain a +1 to all perception rolls.
Excellent. Stun bricks on standby for the next dodgy looking shadow that comes near me.
Yeah. Now, having glugged down all of that, I'm going to need you to take an exposure poison.
Ooh.
Oh, bugger.
11.
4.
Okay. So yeah, you both feel really good. You feel kind of angry. You've drunk your special fighting juice. Everyone else is a bastard and they're out to get you, but you're pretty sure you can nail them if you can just spot them first. And you know what? Suddenly this gravity thing seems to be really strong. And the first thing you might need to hit is your feet, because they don't seem to be working proper. And what's with the horizon and it's wobbling? And yeah, you guys are pissed. So both of you, until further notice, have a level of suffering. Don't worry about damage. Just a -1 to all rolls, because you guys are pissed out of your minds.
Except perception, which is cancel that one.
Yeah. Because you're paranoid.
You're
violent and paranoid, but very drunk.
And I've got a brick in my hand.
Yeah, and you've got a brick in your hand and a 5-foot greasy pole in the other. I don't know. Maybe you carry the 5-foot greasy pole, like, I don't know, tucked in your belt or something.
No, I carry it in my hand.
Okay, yeah. Hunter-gatherer, you literally walk around with a spear all the time.
I literally have a spear in one hand, and I've got like a stun brick in the other hand, and I've got my bag of bricks strapped to my leg.
Oh yes. So there we are.
Yep.
You set forth from the pub. You set forth from the pub, and instantly, those of you who indulged notice at full paranoia, the majority of the tracks seem to be leading like further off to the west. Like, you're both like, there, that is the fucking ones we should be spotting. Like we got him, sir. So Boot, your two subordinates are clearly drunk, but you can't argue with the findings.
That is true, and they are keen as mustard. Yeah, well, we'll set them on them. Right,
so
let's go.
Once again, your resounding battle cry.
What, the same battle cry, or do you want a new battle cry?
No. This sounds like a perfect time for the first battle cry.
Right, sod it. Let's get them. Go
Excellent.
that way.
Oh, yes. And I think we should call it there.
Well,
We successfully robbed a pub and not beat.
You successfully robbed a pub and fell into a beer cellar. So yeah.
Fun.
Oh. Yes. That was that. Because we could continue, but we've really only got like half an hour. And, I could throw you into another combat or go into another encounter or something, but without Lil, it feels wrong for you to get too far.
I can understand that. We could do some reinforcing some Lil next week, hopefully.
Yeah. Or maybe you can happen upon her. Maybe you can kill her. I don't know. Let's find out. So there we are.
Considering we're paranoid and drunk, she's probably going to get a stun brick to the face when we encounter her.
Yeah.
Maybe she turns traitor from the group. Who knows?
Ooh. There we are. So yes, that was that. I was thirsty. I was the world, and the person who described a pub in obtuse terms until someone realised it was a pub.
Exact detail.
Yes. Oh, I don't know about exacting detail. Well, I suppose I did specify the height of a bar. Anyway, so that was that. I was the world. I was a pub. For those of you who want to find me, despite how I didn't put any combat in this one, you can find me on Twitter at thirsty_BTP. You can find me on bloodthirstpuppet.co.uk. You can find me here on Mondays, and if that was too quick, you can probably slow it down on YouTube when I put it there. So hey, right, we should jump to a player, and the player we shall jump to will be Spanners.
Oh, that was so much fun. I cannot wait to play a pissed potion. It's going to be brilliant. Yes, you can find me on Twitter at Spanners_BTP. You can find me on bloodthirstpuppets.co.uk and here on Monday nights and other places. Generally Twitter.
Yes. So, who wishes to go next? Who shall be brave?
Go on, I'll dive in.
Go on, go Brass.
Excellent. Oh, I'm Boss Vikings. I'm on here. You can find me pretty much just in the Discord chat at the moment. I'm around most of the time. I'm quite a friendly chap, really, despite the obvious look. But yeah, been good fun today. Looking forward to next week. To smash some stuff. But yeah, until then, all's good, and thank you.
Excellent point. Mentioning Discord. Yeah. Shit. Should have mentioned that myself. Yes. Yes. Discord. Also good. Will be in description on YouTube. Is in my my Twitter stuff. Is currently in chat. And if I could remember which side that was, because everything's mirrored. Oh god. Yeah. Here we are. Yeah, that side. The side that people are pointing. I can never remember. But yes. And finally, last but not least, and possibly the best of us all, but maybe not.
I guess that'd be me. Hey. Yeah, I've been having fun. I enjoy playing sneaky, stupid characters that like to hurt things. It's awesome. Yeah, you can find me here Monday nights for the best of these prequel campaigns. You can find on the Discord server, which again, like info in the chat to the side, the note on YouTube and on Thirsty's Twitter profile. So yeah, catch me on there.
Excellent. So yeah, that was us. That was our game. There was a thing I was going to say and I can't remember what it was. So yeah, soon incoming on bloodthirstpuppets.co.uk, there's going to be some lore videos that I'm going to attempt to work out how to do, because I realised that being that we haven't published and being that a lot of people haven't actually gone to the website and we haven't updated it in a while, it might be best for someone to just read you the information so you can like put it on in the background on YouTube over there and go, what the fuck is a post-gen? And listen to a description read by someone with a perfectly wonderful voice, like maybe myself, or maybe we'll get someone with BBC English to do it. You know, who knows? Yeah. We'll see. So yeah, that was that. Time at the bar, folks. It's time to drink up.
Lads.
I've got an awful lot of beer to drink up, so enjoy. Cheerio. I have to remember my fucking hotkeys.
Until next time.
Ta-da. Hotkey transitions. Fuck yeah! It only took 4 years.
4 years. Oh.
Yeah. Oh. Jesus God. Yes.
Next up, Stream Elements.
Oh God. Yeah. Yeah, totally.
That was really good fun. Cheers, guys.
That was brilliant.
Yeah. Well, you know, I never pass up an opportunity to make you sneak into. Oh, if I didn't make you, I presented you with an opportunity to sneak into a pub and fall into a beer cellar.
Yeah.
It's that weird thing. It's like the DM has described something. There could be something there. Let's go explore it while we can.
Yeah.
To be fair, I was so sure there was going to be something behind that mirror. That's why what I really wanted to do is to like leap through the door and just hurl a brick at it, and then it ended up being like I fell into a cellar. And
That was awesome.
I wanted to throw a brick at Boot, but then like rather than him just swinging open the thing and me going "found you" and hurling a brick at him,
I need to know what the weird wiggly things are in the den. Yeah.
You can probably find some of them squished between my toes. So.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
Well, the my off the collar comment in the chat was beer
Yeah,
toads.
Beer toads.
Yeah, because beer frogs would be too easy, and beer octopi, like,
No, how would you get the evolution from like a marine cephalopod to living in beer? Toads, they like swampy ground already. The beer probably isn't much of a leap for them.
Octotoads.
there's not a lot of calcium in beer.
Like
Maybe the frogs just evolved to not have bones and more legs.
Are they just beer toads because they've been trodden on?
Oh,
To be
hooray!
fair, though, I suppose they have that weird disease already, don't they, where they start just spawning more limbs at like joints.
Well,
What?
Now-
it would be
now
fun
I'm going to have nightmares.
I'll find you guys a link. Hang on.
This is just
Oh, God.
I'm not good.
Don't find us a link. No, no,
No,
don't.
who wants to stay awake all night?
No one. No one wants to stay awake all night. You're a monster.
No, I spent the entire
What
week
other
googling
monster?
lizards. I'm gonna have to Google toads now. My poor browser history.
Oh God.
All your funny like adverts, you're gonna start getting the side of it. Like, do you need a vivarium? Like, no.
Oh God.
Oh God, don't! Because we've just moved all the stuff out the kids' room. For
Right.
a massive 4-foot vivarium
Right.
for a lizard that big.
And on that note, thanks for playing, guys.
It's fun.
It's been an experience, and I wouldn't have missed it for the world. So yeah, thank you very much.
Oh.